Okay, Bobo Nino. I want to specially acknowledge this virtuous woman who has been outstanding, not just in Enugu, but in our society, Barrister Mrs. Joy Obonna. I came here with a friend, a seasoned journalist and social media activist, Emmanuel Ene. Wilfred Okeke, much respect. Much respect. Brother, good afternoon. You look so handsome. You're welcome. And thank you for coming. Appreciate yourselves. I'm sorry I came late. The event Power Shifts was partly anchored by me, especially the time that the governor came. And there was another event before now, and I'm still going to Nsukka for a wedding reception. But I have to be here because these two guys have been awesome. These two guys are so wonderful. My name is Mondi Diamond and the people call me Odozi Obodo. I'm from Nkerefi in Kano East Local Government Area. Nkerefi, we call ourselves Eba Muru Jesus. Makopotalo Anumano. I'm happy to be here, and I'm billed to be speaking on leadership and loyalty, but he told me 5 minutes. So on that note, I'm going to define the two words, and I'm going to briefly say things about myself which I believe you are going to learn from. I've been a comedian for 10 years. I've been an MC for 10 years. Funny enough, the last comedy album I did, Joke Apart, Volume 1, I did it with Mr. Ibo, which I launched 1st of January 2015. Then, in 2013, I gained admission in IMT to study mass communication. While in school, I believed I could lead. But before leading, I have to serve. I was doing MC as a student. When it was time to go for SUG election, some people said, you're a comedian, you speak good English, you could be the director of social. But I checked the 3 persons that wanted to run for the post of the president. And I discovered that 3 of us are friends, and they learned from me more than I learned from them. And I said to myself, what if we constitute SUG executive, and one of them is the president, while I'm the DOS? It's not going to be a balanced sheet because I have a lot to deliver and to give to them than they have to do. Now, before going further, leadership simply means the ability to control a certain people, an organization, or an association as a head, or even as a country. So when you lead, you are controlling people. Also bear in mind that leadership has several forms. Before I come to that, I'll talk about loyalty. Loyalty is your willingness to follow someone in a faithful way, whether the person is wrong or the person is right, but most of the time the person should be right. Now, loyalty to me is not servitude. Loyalty to me is not eye service. Some people want to display loyalty. Maybe you are in the cabinet of the governor. When the governor is coming out, you start doing something for him to notice that you are there. That is not loyalty to me. Some people want to serve for people to know that they are serving, especially in the church. When you want to display loyalty, you display loyalty to its fullness. Whether the person you are being loyal to is wrong or right. Don't condemn the person and the public. Defend the person and the public. When you leave the public in privacy, you tell the person, these are the things you did that I'm not happy with. Please, next time, do not do it. Then coming to leadership, there's democratic leadership. I'm talking about forms of leadership. And there is autocratic leadership. In democratic leadership, the leader seeks the opinion of others. The leader wants others to contribute before he takes his decision. In autocratic leadership, the leader doesn't seek the opinion of others. The leader does whatever that pleases him to do, just like Idi Amin of Uganda, just like Kim Jong-un of North Korea, and so many other leaders. Even the man that was assassinated a few months ago, the former head of state of Niger, Chad, Idris Deby. Idris Deby was assassinated by some generals close to him. But the first son was so smart that immediately the father was assassinated, he had to assassinate 3 other generals that are ranking and arrested the ADC. Then he became the head of state of the country. This is what happened not more than 3 months ago. Now, how do you define all this? Coming to transformational leadership, there are people that transfer knowledge and power to others. There are people that you learn from, just like the forest trade. People that have succeeded and they want you to succeed. The issue that happened at Obi Kubana of a person is a reference point. Some years ago, he selected 300 youth and shared them 1 million each. That was 300 million. And you should understand what that is all about and what that meant. That is transformational leadership. And there is coach leadership, where you coach people to understand that when you do this, it is wrong, and when you do this, it is right. Do you understand? So there are several forms of leadership, but the one that is prevalent is the democratic and the autocratic. That is when it comes to the issue of leaders that are doing well and those people that want themselves and their families to remain in power till eternity. And it is prevalent in Africa. If you come to Africa, Nasimbe Eyadema became the head of state of Togo as at 1974 to 75. And when he died, his first son, Fore Eyadema, took over. Now he's still the president. If you come to Equatorial Guinea, the president of Equatorial Guinea, Teodoro, appointed his son, his first son, is vice president. Now tell me, if the man is impeached, the power is still there. The son is still the president. If the man dies, the power is still there. The son is still the president. That is what we are talking about. Come to Gabon, Ali Bongo was the former president. When he died, Umar Bongo, his son, took over. So if we are to change the status quo, where does it start? If you read history will tell you that the war started in Africa, that there is an umbilical cord known as Isthmus of Suez in Madagascar that connects Africa and the rest of the world. Now the question is, if the war started in Africa, how come we are backward in civilization? What we need to do is to change our mentality as persons. Before you criticize a leader, check yourself. That is what I used to tell people. And if you want to lead, make sure you serve people. I have served people. I have tolerated things from people. The owner of Peace Mass Transit, Dr. Sam Madukonyishi, when I did my comedy album, I put his company's advert at the back of the cover. I followed him for 2 years. I didn't collect a farthing. In fact, the first day I see him, I spent 1 hour with the gate man. After spending 1 hour with the gate man, I was ushered into the conference room where I was waiting for him for 4 to 5 hours. I didn't complain. He was there with his wife and the DG of one of a person. They spent 4 to 5 hours. And when I finally met him, we spent only 4 minutes to 5 minutes. That was when I was planning the second edition of IMT Debate. And I was telling him, I did this advert for you for 2 years. He said, you did well. Thank you so much. He diverted the discussion to another thing. At the end of the day, I didn't go there to collect money, but I went there to meet with him and tell him, this is what I did for you. Then during the debate, he surprised me. He came with his wife and 2 white men, his manager from Japan and his manager from India. And he paid school fees for 20 students of IMT. Even at that point, he didn't give me any kobo while going. So I followed him for 4 to 5 years. And a day came, he called me and said, come to my office. I came, he gave me 100,000. And I appreciated it. Why am I sharing this? When you are following people that are already made, when you see someone as your role model, don't follow the person because of money. If you follow the person because of money, you can never see the money. The spiritual controls the physical. That is just one thing about life. John Oka from Mr. Ibu, you know, I lived with him for 4 years. Then his first son is my junior. But I used to wash his car while the first one would sit on the balcony and be watching me. I know what I was looking for. At the end of the day, I met so many people through John Okafor. I've done several events, both in Ondo State, both in Abuja, both in Enugu, which he came without collecting money from me. And when he clocked 60 years, I said, what will I do for this man to show him appreciation? I said I had to celebrate him for clocking 60 years. And it was a state event. The governor endorsed it, the governor sponsored it, and I brought him to see the governor. And he said that for the past 60 years, he has never stepped his feet in Lion Building, except that day that he clocked 60 years. Why am I saying this? Learn how to show people appreciation when they are good to you. When a favor is being done to you, it is not your right. It is your privilege. If you are 25 and you say this person has money, he has not done anything for you. Maybe you are an undergraduate. There are some people that are destitute, staying on the road, begging for alms. What have you given to them? That is the question. So before you criticize, watch yourself very well. A boy once said somebody made away with his 20,000 in IMT. And somebody on that group chat said, even you that stole my laptop in hostel. You can see that. So please, in conclusion, learn how to appreciate people when they do well to you. Learn how to appreciate people when they are good to you. And do not serve anybody for servitude. Serve anybody you want to serve with your heart. Not when they criticize this person and say, he's this or he's that, you begin to lose your faith from following the person. When you follow somebody, follow the person in right and in wrong. That is why when the person grows and gets to a stage where the enemies can no longer pull him or her down, he will remember you for being by his side or by her side. So in conclusion, your family background will never determine your success. What matters in your life is your determination and focus. Research has shown that most of the people that are great are from humble home. That is why you discover that most people that become governor of a state, there is no road in their place. And they will concentrate in their place to construct road. If they are born in an urbanized area, they wouldn't have that flair to become governor. But they've experienced poverty, they've experienced bad leadership, they've experienced unavailability of electricity and water, and they say, I must become the governor to change the status quo. So if we must change the status quo, the change must begin with us. Thank you so much.